Welcome to the Incomplete Worldcon podcast. I'm Isabel.
I'm Switch.
And I'm Sarah. Thank you so much to everyone who listened to our first episode and gave us feedback. We'd love to hear from you, so please keep in touch.
We actually have some great listener questions we're going to get to a little later in this episode. So if there's anything you'd like to know, just reach out. You can connect directly with us on Instagram at IncompleteWorldConPod or email us at incompleteworldconpod@gmail.com. And we'll do our best to get back to you with the answers that you're looking for.
Only 2 months until Worldcon. We have so much to talk about. So let's get started with Worldcon news.
The next Worldcon is LAcon V, August 27th to 31st, 2026 in Anaheim, California. Interested in volunteering at Worldcon? Whether you're attending virtually or in person, LAcon is looking for folks to work 2 to 4 hour shifts daily or occasionally. You can sign up at the volunteers desk at the con or at lacon.org/volunteer.
We have a lot of program items to look forward to, including something called Star Wars Mostly Original Slideshow. That's all we know for now, but I am sure that Sarah is going to find out and get back to us as soon as she knows.
Oh, yes.
There's also going to be game shows with a Worldcon twist, including Taskmaster and Just a Minute. There's also improbable research, ignoble award dramatic readings with Toastmaster Ursula Vernon, also known as T. Kingfisher, and fan guest of honor Jerry Sullivan.
I was so excited to read this because, okay, first of all, I love Jerry. She's a dear friend. Also, I love Ursula. And if you've heard her like sea cucumber or sly mold Hugo acceptance award speeches, you should be looking forward to this too.
Slime mold and sea cucumbers. Yeah, that's going to be good. Yeah. Yeah, I've read some of her stuff as T. Kingfisher, and I really liked it. So that ought to be interesting. There's also the anime Juke Jam. LAcon has announced that there's going to be a special performance on Friday, the 28th, by the LA chapter of Southside Symphony, which is a predominantly Black orchestra. Anime Juke Jam is a celebration of the cultural exchange between Black American and Japanese cultures, specifically in the realms of anime music, hip-hop, Japanese jazz, funk, house, and soul.
I am also really looking forward to this. Do you guys know who Yoko Kanno is?
I don't, off the top of my head.
She's a composer who composes for video games and anime, and she's like the iconic composer for those arenas. And one of the things she composed is Cowboy Bebop, which they're going to be covering in this concert. Yes, you know that one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty familiar with Cowboy Bebop. I am a massive fan of Japanese jazz. And a lot of the Japanese sort of like takes on different music genres are always very interesting to me as a lover of music. But Japanese jazz especially is like so heavily influential in a lot of video game music. You hear it a lot in things like Mario Kart. And a lot of the video game, like big, massive video game properties that come out of Japan. But when I think about Cowboy Bebop, the song that immediately comes to my mind, and I think most other people's, is the song Tank from the Seatbelts, which is just a massive hit, and one that like I will absolutely throw down at an anime party in a heartbeat. It hits every single time.
Like, I feel like if I was having a classy cocktail party, I would put on the soundtrack to Cowboy Bebop because it's just that good.
Yeah, no, it's really, really good stuff. And so if Yoko is responsible for any part of that, then this is going to be an incredible presentation.
100% agree. Isabel, should we answer some questions?
Absolutely.
All right, let's get started with Dear SARAHBEL.
Paige M asks, what's the actual scale of Worldcon? How is it different from larger, more commercial conventions like Comic-Cons?
So Worldcon is smaller than most of the large Comic-Cons we're used to in larger cities. LAcon's expecting 7,000 or more attendees versus like 135,000 attendees at San Diego Comic-Con, or like 65 or so thousand attendees at Rose City Comic-Con here in Portland.
For me, the big difference is the for-profit or commercial aspect of the big shows like Comic-Con and all. When you go to Worldcon, it's not about standing in line and paying money to take a picture with somebody. It's about hanging out with people. It's about going to some really fun panels. There's been crazy different panels on all sorts of weird subjects. You never know what you're going to get. There's the freebie room, there's the con suite where, it's a hospitality suite and you hang out with people, and it's just a family reunion for a bunch of geeks. So I really, that's like my favorite.
Yeah, I really enjoy both. I go to both kinds of cons all year long. For me, yeah, it's similar. Like Comic-Con is a business. I enjoy it because I still see my friends there and we all dress up and all of that. But to me, Worldcon is more like a friend get together that metastasized.
Uh-huh.
Because it really is. We all pitch in and put it on together for the lowest cost possible because no one's trying to make money off of it. Yeah. Just so we can get together with our people and talk about the things we love.
Yeah, I love the fact that, like I was saying about standing in line to take a picture with somebody, you can get your book signed, you can potentially get a photo with somebody, and you don't have to pay extra for that.
Yes, which leads us into Paige's second questions. Yes. Do book readings require separate tickets? Do author signings require separate purchase? Are the author signings large enough that they're run like celebrity photo ops?
And the answers are no, no, and no. Readings are free, which is great. You get to hear authors read their stuff. You can bring your own books to get them signed. You don't have to buy books at the convention. And then, you have to wait in line, but that's just, taking your turn. You don't have to pay for the privilege of standing in line.
Yeah, and there are usually multiple autograph sessions during a Worldcon, and each one you have several authors sitting at tables, and you just get in the lines for whichever authors you want to get an autograph from. The only exception I've seen is when Game of Thrones was still on TV, and so many people wanted to get George R.R. Martin's autograph that they would have a special autograph signing just for him, and that line would be like hours long, but you just you talk to the people around you, pass the time.
Yeah, that's a lot of fun.
I was actually in line in Spokane in 2015 next to a life coach, like an executive life coach, and she basically gave me a free session while we were in line to get George R.R. Martin's autograph and changed my entire life.
Okay.
So yes, talk to people while you're in line. It's fun.
Wait, so the life coach thing is like not a scam? Like it's a real thing?
This lady was amazing.
Really?
Like, I came home. I quit.
I don't think I've heard this story from you.
Yeah, no, she talked to me while we were waiting to meet him. And I came home and I quit sugar. I quit a 7-year Ambien habit and I quit my job. And in hindsight, I probably should not have done all of these things on the same day.
Right.
But it was all for the better. Oh, and I totally cracked up George R.R. Martin because instead of having them sign a book, I brought an engagement card from my friends, and the front had a wedding cake with a bloody knife stuck in it. And you opened it up and it said, "Hope it's not another red wedding." I got George R.R. Martin to sign it and gave it to my friends.
Oh, that's awesome.
That's amazing.
Oh, that's great. That is awesome. Okay, so last week we traveled in time to Seattle in 2025. And today we're going to go to Glasgow in 2024 with the Worldcon WAYBACK machine. It's August 8th through 12th, 2024. The number one movie is Deadpool and Wolverine. The number one song is a bar song, Tipsy, by Shabuzi. The most popular SFF book on Goodreads is A Sorceress Comes to Call by T. Kingfisher, who we said earlier was Ursula Vernon. And the 82nd World Science Fiction Convention was held in Glasgow, Scotland, with approximately 7,300 attendees. Now, I was not at Glasgow 2024, but Sarah was. So we're going to have her mostly talking about this, especially since she was the TAFF Delegate, which is the Transatlantic Fan Fund. So Sarah, tell us more about that.
Yes. So each year, one TAFF delegate is elected to go to either Worldcon or a different convention, because we try to switch and go east 1 year, west 1 year, east 1 year between North America and Europe. So I finally got elected in 2024. That was the third time I ran. Normally a TAFF winner spends a few weeks in the host country and then travels around the surrounding areas and spends time with fellow fans. But because I can work from anywhere, I ended up spending 3 months in the UK.
So tell us about the con itself. What was the venue like? What was the vibe?
The vibe was great. So you know how we just all learned from the World Cup about like Scottish people and traffic cones on everything? Yeah.
Okay.
So Glasgow is actually where that started.
Interesting.
So
Nice.
yes, that's the vibe. Also, the con had its own tartan created in this really pretty purple color.
Yes,
and you just saw
that.
it everywhere. I know they were selling all kinds of goods before the con, including fabric. So people showed up with entire outfits that they had sewed out of this fabric.
Yeah.
It was so much fun. The venue was your average convention hall, to be honest. The large events were held in the Armadillo, which looks kind of like the Sydney Opera House. You know, it kind of has that armadillo look to it. And then they had a few events at nearby hotels. I really liked that it was connected to the train station by a covered walkway, and there were lots of restaurants and grocery stores in the area. I didn't spend a lot of time in the convention center bar, but I did hang out in the bar at the main hotel a few times, and I can't remember what hotel that was, but that bar was huge and it was full of Worldcon people the whole time.
That's fantastic. That's a lot of fun. I love the informal aspect of the convention like that.
Absolutely.
So what was your experience like as the TAFF delegate at the con, as opposed to your usual experience?
First of all, they gave me a hotel room, which was really nice.
Yeah.
I had a whole page about me in the souvenir program, and they blew it up and displayed it in the exhibits hall. I got to participate in a few special events like the opening ceremonies and Fan Fun Jeopardy, where Kat Clay, who was the Guff or Get Under Fan Fun delegate from Australia, and I like competed against each other kind of, but mostly we just kept smacking our little buzzer things that were Mario cubes that went ding and lit up. Because then you had to ding it again to turn it off. And so mostly we just ignored the questions and ding,
Just
ding,
kept ding.
ding. I really need one of those cubes. And also, I went to my first Fan Fund auction because one of the things about TAFF is after your trip, you become the new administrator for North America or Europe. So I knew I was going to have to run this going forward. So I decided to see, what am I getting myself into? I ended up buying the Doctor's underpants, Colin Baker's boxer shorts.
I'm sorry. What?
Yes. They had the Doctor's underpants, Colin Baker's underpants, framed with a photo of him holding the underpants, so the boxer shorts. So you knew that they were the real thing. So I got that.
I just have no words for that. I got nothing.
Oh, wait.
And I'm a Doctor Who fan, but I got nothing.
I also bought an original copy of the oldest Star Trek / zine in the UK. So I bought Star Trek porn.
You know, I didn't know it existed, but had I known, I would have bet money that you would have bought it. You know, anything Star Trek, I could just see you buying. Porn would not have been the first thing that I would say that you would buy, but okay, sure, yeah.
I remember someone bid against me on that, and I was like, no, more.
So to be clear, you went all the way to Scotland as a delegate on someone else's dime and came home with someone else's underwear and porn.
Yeah,
no.
That's about right.
No.
because I gave the underwear to a friend as a thank you for hosting me on my trip.
Okay, so somebody else.
He was so unimpressed.
So now Colin had the underwear, you had the underwear, and then your friend had the underwear.
Where is the underwear now?
I'm not sure where it is now.
I'm not
Colin
sure that
Baker,
I want
we
to
don't know where your underwear is.
Do we really want to know?
I think we need to get our best people on this. Someone needs to find the doctor's underwear. It's gone missing. And we're looking for the best sleuths in the Worldcon community to help us find it.
Oh my God.
I will ask my friend where it ended up. Probably in a charity shop in Scotland somewhere.
Oh my God. I think we need to have an entire episode devoted to people calling in saying, the last time I saw the underwear, it was running down the street in, some mall. And then another person saying, yeah, I saw it. It was at the mall. And then it got into a bus and it went to the zoo. And I don't even know. I could just see this whole episode like a scavenger hunt throughout the city to try and find Colin Baker's underpants.
Right. So you never know what you're going to find at the Fan Fund auction. So be sure to come to the Fan Fund auction this summer in LA.
Well, hold on. We need to tell people there are other things there besides people's underwear, right?
And porn.
And porn.
Yeah, don't forget the porn. You can't forget about the porn. This is an audio show, but I will find a way to record this that makes it sound like it was shot in black and white.
Oh my God.
We're going to go full noir. Detective mystery. What has happened to the doctor's underwear? Tune in to find out.
Okay, so leaving that behind.
I see what you did there.
Oh, shit. No, I didn't mean to do that. Oh, my God. I hate puns. I hate them. I didn't realize I did that.
Let's move on.
Yes. Okay. And what were some of the other fun things you did at the con?
I hosted a panel on Myst, the computer game from 1993, and I hosted the Star Trek meetup.
Wait, what? You did a Star Trek thing? I'm shocked.
I know, right? Like,
who'd have thunk?
You folks can't see it at home, but I'm wearing a Star Trek shirt right now. Oh, and that reminds me, I got into one coffee clash because they were run by lottery, which I think is a good thing. But it's the one I really wanted to get into because it was with Derek Tyler Attico, who wrote the autobiography of Benjamin Sisko. Oh, and he is also, and this is so weird to me, he is the first Black man to write for the Star Trek books.
Wow.
Yeah.
I will fight and I will die on the hill that DS9 was the best of all the Star Treks. And Sisko, like, oh my God, I love him so much. Seriously, I will die on that hill. I will beat you up because that was the best one.
Yeah, I'm actually really excited because if you're interested in reading it, Derek will be at the Star Trek convention in Vegas in August. But also, I was a third-time Hugo loser.
Woohoo! Not about the loser part, but the fact that you were nominated.
You know what? It's an honor just to be a loser. And also, T. Kingfisher, aka Ursula Vernon, I met her right at the beginning of Con by registration, told her how much I enjoyed her slime mold speech in Washington, D.C. And so in Glasgow, she won again, and she went up there and she gave the most horrifying speech about sea cucumbers, who are the most terrifying creatures who have ever existed. And I will let you look that up on your own because I don't want to repeat the things we learned.
Okay. I am not going to go look it up. If it's that terrifying, I will just take your word for it and I am not going to look it up.
Two words, anal teeth.
Oh my God. Why you got to tell me? Oh my God.
This whole show has gone off the rails. I don't know what to do with you two.
Blame Ursula.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
In all seriousness, though, Ursula is wonderful. I adore her. She's such a talented writer. I hope she wins again. I'm just scared of her next speech.
Not everything went smoothly in Glasgow, however. It definitely had its share of controversies. For example, the Hugo voting fraud.
On July 22nd, the Glasgow 2024 Hugo Administration Subcommittee and Hugo Administrator Nicholas White disqualified 377 Hugo votes that were cast fraudulently out of 3,813 total final ballot votes.
As reported by CNN, these included a run of voters whose second names were identical except for the first letter was changed in alphabetical order, and a run of voters whose names were translations of consecutive numbers.
The committee also received a report that someone was sponsoring the purchase of WSFS memberships by large numbers of individuals who were refunded the cost of membership after confirming that they had voted as the sponsor wished.
The committee said that the finalists these votes favored did not appear to know about or be involved in the vote stuffing scheme, so they were not publicly identified or disqualified.
This is just bonkers to me because in order to vote, you have to have at least a supporting membership, which was £45, times 377 votes is almost £17,000, which is almost $22,000 that someone spent to try and buy someone a Hugo.
Yeah, that's a lot of money and a lot. Like, clearly these people were determined.
We did not spend anywhere near that much on this podcast, and it shows.
Yeah. And then there was also the fallout from the Chengdu Hugos, which we'll be getting into next month.
Yes.
So, Sarah, on a brighter note, what was your favorite thing at Glasgow?
Okay, so
Please say the boxers. Please say the boxers.
Okay, first the porn, then the boxers.
Oh my God, we're back to that.
But third, most random thing happened at the opening ceremonies. So Kat and I had a little bit where we talked in the opening ceremonies about fan funds and stuff. So we're sitting in the front row before it starts, waiting to begin, and the guy next to me compliments my Star Trek dress. And I said, thanks, who are you, blah, blah, blah. And he said he worked at Hasbro on Dungeons & Dragons. And I'm like, oh my God, let me tell you my Star Trek Dungeons & Dragons story. And so I told him how I was in line for a Star Trek autograph in Puyallup, Washington at the Washington State Summer Fair, or SummerCon. And the guy in front of me turned out to be Chris Perkins, the senior story architect for D&D.
Okay, then.
And then at this point, the guy on the other side of the guy I'm talking to leans over and waves and says, hi. And it's Chris Perkins in Glasgow, Scotland, there to receive an award on behalf of D&D and wearing a goofy wizard hat. And that's why I didn't recognize him.
Yeah, see, and that's one of the fantastic things about Worldcon, right? Like, you go and you don't have to be one of the cool kids in order to hang out and meet people and have a good time, right? You don't have to pay extra. I keep going back to that, but it's like, it's so true, you know? There's nothing about like, oh my God, one of the things that people always say is, oh, I'm just a fan. There is no such thing as just, right? There isn't. You show up and you're just, if you're going to use the word just, fine. You're just like everybody else, right? You're all standing in line and you're all talking, and some of you happen to be famous and some of you are less famous. But you're all fans.
And there are so many writers that, I don't know about you, but I frequently get asked, are you a writer? And I say, no, I'm a reader. And if the person's an author, they're always like, well, we like those.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
I gotta be honest, I am fangirling a little bit because I am such a huge fan of Chris Perkins. If anyone's ever seen like any of his live, like actual play work, like for example, every single edition of Acquisitions Incorporated from the Painting Arcade guys, their live actual play that they do at the Penny Arcade Expo, DM is always Chris Perkins. Any of the stuff that he's done with Critical Role, any of the stuff that the guy is a straight up legend. And actually, speaking of Critical Role, after leaving Hasbro, he went over to work with Critical Role and has been working with them on their Daggerheart stuff. And they're about to launch an entire Daggerheart actual play. And Matt Mercer is going to be taking the DM chair again after giving that chair up to Brennan Lee Mulligan for the last like year or so. So like the fact that you like not only get to like hang out for a minute with Chris Perkins, but also that like he recognized you and that you guys like you kind of know Chris Perkins, which is super sick.
Well, the only reason that I started talking to him in the first place was we were both in line for Terry Matalas, who produced Star Trek Picard season 3. And then Todd Stashwick was at the next table, and he kept yelling over, "Hey, Chris, blah, blah, blah," because he's a huge D&D nerd. And so I was like, "Oh, hi, what do you do?"
I gotta be honest, as somebody who's never been to Worldcon, this is breaking my brain a little bit. So,
so this is the kind of thing that you're going to get to experience in August, right? This is going to be your first Worldcon, and you're going to hang out with people virtually, but still you're going to hang out with people and you're going to talk to people. You're going to see all the things, right? You're going to see the Hugos. You're going to see the opening ceremonies. You're going to see the closing ceremonies. You're going to see a whole bunch of other stuff in between.
I'm a little bummed I don't get to travel this time, but before we sat down to record this episode, I did sign up officially. I am going to be attending virtually. I am now a WISPAS member, like legitimately.
One of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
Paid for and everything. They got all my financial details and information. Like it's a done deal at this point. So I am now a virtual member of LAcon V, and I'm looking forward to it. I think it's going to be a really good time.
You're going to have an awesome time. Next time on the Incomplete Worldcon podcast, we'll have more news, more advice, and we'll be traveling back in time to 2023 for the Chengdu Worldcon and all of that drama. So be sure to tune in. New episodes are available on the 1st of the month.
Also, be sure to tune in for our mid-month news flash for the latest Worldcon-related updates. Sign up for reminders at our website, incompleteworldconpod.riverside.com, or email us at incompleteworldconpod@gmail.com.
If you enjoyed today's discussion, please follow us on Instagram at Incomplete Worldcon Pod or on Facebook at the Incomplete Worldcon Podcast. Please review the show on your podcast platform of choice and share the show with your friends. Thanks for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
If you'd like your question to be featured on a future episode of the Incomplete Worldcon podcast, please send your questions or thoughts to incompleteworldconpod@gmail.com or leave a comment on our socials. This episode was produced in 2026 by DJ Switch PDX.